49ers, Cardinals prediction time on the way to the best breakfast burrito, allegedly, in San Francisco. Casper's driving us there. We're going to stop in North Beach, get that breakfast burrito, and then we're going to swim in the bay. So let's talk 49ers, Cardinals. I'll have the score prediction as I always do at the end of this video. But first, how the 49ers going to contain Kyler Murray on read option? First play last year at Levi Stadium where it was like 102 degrees down on the field, the Cardinals handed off to James Conner. Big, bruising back. He'll trample you if you're not ready for him. And he picked up, like 8 yards? So I think it was like 2nd and 2. And then Kyler Murray faked to Conner, and he kept on read option. Devondre Campbell couldn't get off his block, and it was Kyler Murray sprinting all the way to the end zone. He was waving at like the 30-yard line. It was bad for the 49ers defense. Now, asterisk, despite that, the 49ers were still up 20-10 in that game later on, despite the fact that they fell behind 7-0 on the Kyler Murray long touchdown run. So they still could have won that game, but I think they would like to avoid long touchdown runs on read option for Kyler Murray this time around. Shout out to Daniel Lurie, Roger Goodell, and yesterday we saw both of those guys up on stage with Jed York and Al Guido, 49ers owner and team president here in San Francisco. That was City Hall, by the way, but we saw them at the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, the kickoff event for Super Bowl 60, which is going to be here in the Bay Area. San Francisco is going to host a lot of the events, and then, of course, the game is going to be at Levi's Stadium. The countdown for that is on. So Goodell, I think, is going to attend the game tomorrow down at Levi's between the 49ers and the Cardinals. So the 49ers last year with Devondre Campbell on the edge there, he couldn't get off his block, and Kyler Murray was sprinting and waving. 49ers didn't play the technique in the way that they're going to have to play it tomorrow to prevent those types of touchdown runs and big gains from Kyler Murray. And they've got D. Winters now at the linebacker position. I think they've hit the upgrade button at the linebacker 2 position. I think that they're faster as a defense. I think it's significant because of the youth movement. And I think that's going to be very, very helpful for the 49ers against a fleet-footed quarterback. You know, one thing that San Francisco noticed in 2024 was that as they aged defensively, as they had to sign these veterans on the wrong side of 30, like Devondre Campbell, to fill some holes, the defensive speed wasn't what it had been during prime years. And Murray obviously was able to roast the 49ers defense with his legs. And I think that now the 49ers team speed is way, way up. D. Winters is faster than Dre Greenlaw. And I know Greenlaw wasn't even playing. He's definitely faster than somebody like Devondre Campbell. This is the fastest tandem of starting safeties that the 49ers have ever fielded between Marquise Siegel and Jason Pinnock. Somebody like Jair Brown is now a third safety, big nickel player. He played, 7 snaps in the big nickel, didn't play a whole lot this past week against the New Orleans Saints. You actually might use Jair more because the Cardinals run more 3 tight end stuff than any team in the NFL. They run 13 personnel a whole heck of a lot of time. So look for that. We might actually see Jair Brown as that third linebacker for the 49ers, but that would still be a linebacker with safety speed. I mean, slower safety speed. Jair's like a 4.6, 4.7. But you'd still be very, very fast considering the fact that you have your 2-4-3/4-4 guys already playing at that safety position. So team speed for the 49ers on defense combined with discipline is what can allow them to contain Kyler Murray tomorrow. Keep him in the pocket. I know that he's won from the pocket before. I know this is not a bad pocket passer, but he's not a great pocket passer. It is not Kyler's forte. He's a short quarterback. He has some trouble seeing over the offensive and defensive linemen and the general scrum in a crowded pocket. So make him play a standard quarterback position and you're going to be in a much, much better position to win if you are the 49ers. If he's running read option and somebody like James Conner is trampling your defense because you're having to pay so much attention to the read option because you're not playing the technique right to defend it in the first place, and then Conner gashes you up the middle, that's where Arizona makes its money offensively. So it's about staying home, staying fast. If you're the 49ers defense, not getting too sucked up into all the crunch action happening inside with James Conner, because once Kyler Murray has a step, he's going to be gone. He's going to turn that corner and he's going to be heading down the sideline. And obviously the 49ers have learned the hard way a few times already in Kyler's career. But, I talk about the 13 personnel that Arizona is going to run at Robert Saleh's defense. Trey McBride, 100-plus catches last year. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., yes, I get it. You need to pay attention to what the Cardinals are doing at receiver. I think Michael Wilson out of Stanford is a good player as well. But the favorite target of Kyler Murray last year by far was Trey McBride, the tight end. You look down California Street, see the cable cars all the way over there. Nice little church right here. Look, we could even pan the camera up a little bit. We're just rolling down Franklin Street. Pretty soon we're going to be able to see toward the bay. But Trey McBride, he's a very, very skilled receiving tight end. Unfortunately for the 49ers, no George Kittle in this game. So when you go the other way, you're not going to see the epic George Kittle, Buda Baker matchups that we have seen in the past. But I think that Jair Brown, the big nickel, that might actually be something that the 49ers employ against the three tight end sets, and maybe occasionally covers Trey McBride in this game. You can't allow McBride to just be churning possession catches, play after play, third down after third down in this game. Marvin Harrison Jr. might match up against Renardo Green if the 49ers play a zone-based defense. We'll see if Diamador Lenore does any switching of sides. Teams generally just haven't gone after Diamador Lenore this year. He's only given up 3 catches and 72 cover snaps. So I'm guessing the matchup that you're going to see more often is Harrison against Green in this game, who has given up some yardage. It's an intriguing matchup to me. I think the 49ers want Renardo to be a little bit better. I think they need both of their corners to be a little bit better against the run, cracking down against the run. I think that was a little bit of an issue even for Demo last week, and it's going to be big this week. Listen, this is the most talented Arizona offense that Shanahan has faced. Like Shanahan and Robert Saleh, whoever has been running the 49ers defense has faced over the course of the past, now it is 9 seasons. Kyler's at quarterback, Marvin Harrison Jr. outside, Conner at running back, Benson the running back 2, Trey McBride at the tight end position, good players like Michael Wilson at receiver. This is a talented offense. I don't think that it's a great offensive line. I think the 49ers can do some work up front with their improving young defensive line, improving young defensive line. But it's a challenge nonetheless. And it's not going to be a hot day, but it should be a warm day at Levi's. And Arizona does some of its training outside. Last year, that was an advantage for the Cardinals. And we'll see how the 49ers can hold up, this time wearing their all-white uniforms. Other side of the football, when I look at Mac Jones, who's likely going to start for the 49ers against this Arizona defense, I see a secondary for Arizona that is very, very beaten up. They're down their top 3 corners. Well, assuming Will Johnson, who didn't practice and is doubtful with a groin injury, doesn't go in this game. I'm assuming that Max Melton's going to go. He's questionable, but he did practice this week. But even if Max Melton goes, they're still down their top 3 corners. I mean, this is a situation where they were bleeding yardage late last week against the Carolina Panthers. They were bleeding yardage late the week prior against the New Orleans Saints. I think it's safe to say that the 49ers, even with Mac Jones, have more offensive punch than both the Saints and the Carolina Panthers. So I like the additions that Arizona made up front. Josh Sweat, Dalvin Tomlinson, up for this team. I like Walter Nolan as well, but he's not going to be available in this game. He's going to be on the PUP list. Calais Campbell is also now on this Arizona defensive line. They're going to be a load for what I think, especially in pass protection, is a surging 49ers offensive line to handle. It's not going to be easy, But I do think that there are enough holes on the back end for the 49ers to exploit in the pass game and set themselves up to run a little bit in this football game. Now, what are the unique challenges that Arizona brings to the table when it comes to defensive scheme? Well, Jonathan Gannon knows what he's doing. Jonathan Gannon's going to bring pressure with 5, so meaning technically a blitz, one added rusher in multiple different forms. We're going to go steep up Russian Hill now. Hopefully for the 49ers, it's not as much of an uphill climb as this, up Filbert Street. This is one of the steeper grades in San Francisco. Maybe we'll see Colton McKivitz running up this hill next year. He didn't do this hill. He did Telegraph Hill, which might be even steeper than Russian Hill, but maybe he'll try Russian Hill next off season. We're weaving our way to this best breakfast burrito in North Beach, so we're taking a bit of a different route, which I really enjoy right now. But it's going to take a different route for the 49ers against Jonathan Gannon and this defense. They're going to bring that 5th rusher from a plethora of different spots, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on the 49ers running backs and pass protection. So Kyle Juszczyk has cleared concussion protocol. I think that's really big. Christian McCaffrey, you want him out there because he is very, very good in pass pro. So whether they're bringing Matt Collins, the linebacker, who I think is an excellent blitzer, or if they're bringing Budda Baker, who obviously can do everything, Mac Jones is going to have to know where this is coming from. Not just him, the running backs are going to have to know where these blitzes are coming from for the 49ers so that they pick them up and give Mac the time that he needs to deliver downfield. And if he does have that time, I think this Arizona defense can be beat. I think that the backup corners, they're down their top nickelback as well. He's on injured reserve now. This could be a big Ricky Pearsall game for the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey's always in line to have a big game because he's a future Hall of Famer. He's still doing it at a very high level. I mean, that's all stuff that San Francisco could set up if they're able to pick up some of this pressure, because it's going to be a 3-3 zone on the back end a lot of times for Arizona behind the 5-man pressure. Look at us dipping down into North Beach. We're going to be making another left turn here onto Jones Street. You guys are getting kind of the quintessential San Francisco Russian Hill down to the water experience today. I mean, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You got to love that. You absolutely have to love that. Looking down toward Alcatraz. We're going to be making a right turn. So I'm going to have my prediction now for the 49ers against the Cardinals. I think that the tipping point are the secondary injuries for Arizona, because I think that allows the 49ers to overcome some of the quarterback problems. Now, left guard is a question, and we're going to have all those updates for you a little bit later, but we're going to say 49ers 21, Cardinals 20. There's not going to be a lot of blowouts this year. It's going to be a lot of close games, but so far the 49ers have shown that they have what it takes to win these close games. And this is going to be the toughest one yet, but I think Mack and company are going to get it done. I think Saleh and company, but they have closers. They've got Bosa, they've got Huff. I think they get it done as well. So 21-20, 49ers over the Cardinals. Now we bring you the sights of San Francisco, including the best breakfast burritos coming up. But look, Coit Tower.
Or wallet. There are more drop-off options in the app.
Coit Tower, St. Peter and Paul with a cable car passing by. I know that we had to listen to Casper talking first, but Casper's done talking, and now we could see. I mean, that's an epic San Francisco shot, especially when the cable car was passing through. It was almost like it was made for this prediction. Oh my God, Bodega, the breakfast burrito spot, might have, it's got a little bit of a line. It's not too bad. So this is where I'm going. You guys can see it. It's right there, right by that mural. There's people waiting in front. Doesn't look all too bad. And I think we're going to turn and they're going to drop me off. And, it's right on Washington Square, which is cool to begin with. This is one of the iconic squares of San Francisco. Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe took their wedding pictures at this church. They got married at San Francisco City Hall. But Joe DiMaggio's from this neighborhood, right? The Little Italy of San Francisco, as you could see up on that sign. He's from this neighborhood. I don't know if they had these breakfast burritos yet when Joe was playing for the San Francisco Seals and growing up in North Beach, but all good. Everybody, thanks for watching. Prediction 49ers 21 and the Arizona Cardinals 20.